When the Volkswagen Golf GTI MK1 debuted, it practically invented the hot hatch genre. It was light, tossable, and offered accessible performance that changed everything for enthusiasts. Its rival, the Ford Fiesta XR2, hit the scene shortly after with a focus on raw, spirited driving dynamics. While the Golf felt like a refined piece of German engineering, the Fiesta brought a gritty, rally-bred character to the table. Both cars proved that you didn't need a massive engine to have a massive amount of fun. The GTI MK1 used a fuel-injected engine to balance efficiency and speed, while the XR2 relied on a punchy carbureted setup that felt eager in every gear. They were both small, agile, and set the foundation for decades of heated competition between these two automotive giants. It really was the beginning of an era where small cars started to pack a serious punch. Moving into the 80s, the competition heated up significantly. The Volkswagen Golf GTI MK2 arrived with a more sophisticated chassis and a legendary reputation to uphold. It gained a bit of weight, but brought better road manners and a high-quality interior that felt a class above. Opposing it, the Ford Escort RS Turbo was a force of nature. Featuring forced induction, this car brought a level of straight-line performance that the naturally aspirated Golf struggled to match. The RS Turbo was aggressive, fast, and notoriously difficult to tame at the limit, while the GTI MK2 offered a more predictable and balanced driving experience. These two showcased the classic divide. Volkswagen focused on all-around polish and daily usability, while Ford leaned heavily into turbocharged excitement and raw speed. Both remain absolute icons of the decade. The 90s brought us a clash of ideologies between the Volkswagen Golf GTI MK3 and the monstrous Ford Escort RS Cosworth. While the GTI MK3 was a capable, sensible hot hatch that prioritized comfort and reliability, the Escort RS Cosworth was essentially a homologation special built for rallying. The Cosworth is famous for its massive rear wing and permanent all-wheel drive system, which made it a weapon on tarmac and dirt alike. Meanwhile, the GTI MK3 became more of a cruiser, distancing itself from the raw performance roots of its predecessors. It's a fascinating comparison because they represent the two extremes of the market at the time. One is a refined daily driver that could handle spirited driving, and the other is a genuine rally car for the road that sacrificed refinement for pure unadulterated performance thrills. Entering the new millennium, the Volkswagen Golf GTE MK4 arrived with a focus on premium interior materials and a more mature design language. It was a stylish, high-quality vehicle that many appreciated, though some enthusiasts felt it lacked the sharp, engaging handling of previous iterations. Facing off against it was the Ford Focus SVT, which was specifically engineered to be a driver's car. Ford put significant effort into the suspension geometry and steering feedback, making the SVT a standout in terms of chassis dynamics. While the Golf felt like a sophisticated machine built for the long haul, the Focus was clearly tuned to put a smile on the driver's face on a twisty back road. It highlights the eternal struggle of the hot hatch. Should it be a refined all-rounder or a dedicated performance tool for the weekend enthusiast? With the Golf GTI MK5, Volkswagen arguably returned to form by injecting a healthy dose of excitement back into the lineup. The MK5 featured a much improved multi-link rear suspension and the introduction of the dual-clutch transmission, which was revolutionary for the time. On the other side, we have the Ford Focus ST170. This car carried over the excellent Focus chassis dynamics, offering a very balanced and neutral handling profile. It wasn't the fastest in a straight line, but it certainly knew how to carry speed through corners. Comparing these two really shows the generational leap Volkswagen took with the MK5, while Ford continued to refine its proven, driver-focused platform. Both cars proved that you could have an engaging experience without needing an extreme power output, focusing instead on chassis balance and driver connectivity. The Volkswagen Golf GTI MK6 served as a refined evolution of the successful MK5 platform. It addressed some of the earlier criticisms while maintaining the same excellent formula of comfort, performance, and daily usability. Opposite this, we find the second-generation Ford Focus ST. This car famously switched to a 5-cylinder turbo engine, giving it a unique character and a fantastic soundtrack that simply couldn't be ignored. The ST of this era was all about torque and personality, whereas the GTI MK6 focused on being the ultimate all-rounder. While the Volkswagen excelled in its polished, surgical approach to performance, the Ford grabbed your attention with its rowdy engine note and enthusiastic character. It is a classic case of refinement versus raw, spirited charm, making this one of the most interesting duels in hot hatch history. The Volkswagen Golf GTI MK7 represented a major leap forward, utilizing an entirely new modular platform that made the car significantly lighter and more rigid. It was praised for its balance of everyday comfort and genuine track capability. In contrast, the first-generation Ford Focus RS was a wild, limited production animal that put all its power through the front wheels with the help of a sophisticated limited-slip differential. The RS MK1 was raw, demanding, and arguably one of the most aggressive front-wheel drive cars ever built. While the GTI MK7 was a masterclass in modern, accessible performance, the RS MK1 was a dedicated, high-strung machine that prioritized track focus over daily comfort. Both are legends in their own right, representing very different philosophies toward achieving high-performance hatch status. The modern Volkswagen Golf GTI MK8 continued the tradition of digital-first performance, bringing advanced electronics and a very capable engine to the segment. It feels like a computer on wheels, with every aspect tuned for efficiency and speed. On the other side, the Ford Focus RS MK2 brings us back to the era of the 5-cylinder engine, this time with a massive power boost and a widened aggressive body kit. The RS MK2 is a visceral experience. It feels wide, planted, and incredibly fast, even by modern standards. Where the GTI MK8 relies on precision and a polished driving experience, the Focus RS MK2 is a shouty, turbocharged spectacle that demands your full attention. They represent a clear divide between the evolution of the clean, efficient hot hatch and the era of the uncompromising, power-hungry performance machine. In this matchup, we pit the iconic Volkswagen Golf R32 against the high-tech Ford Focus RS MK3. The Golf R32 is legendary for its naturally aspirated VR6 engine, providing a sound and character that simply isn't found in modern turbocharged units. It's a classic heavy-hitting hatchback that feels substantial and premium. Meanwhile, the Ford Focus RS MK3 brought sophisticated all-wheel drive technology to the masses, featuring a drift mode that made it a viral sensation. It's a very modern, active machine designed to push the limits of what a hatchback can do on a track. While the Golf R32 offers a more analog and soulful experience, the Focus RS MK3 is a testament to how far chassis technology and electronic assistance have come in modern performance cars. They are both absolute icons of the segment. Comparing the Volkswagen Golf R to the Ford Fiesta S TMK7 is a study in size and focus. The Golf R is the ultimate all-weather weapon, utilizing a sophisticated all-wheel drive system to put all its power down in any condition. It's mature, fast, and incredibly capable. The Fiesta ST MK7, on the other hand, is arguably the best small hot hatch of its generation. It's lightweight, incredibly agile, and offers a level of driver feedback that the larger, more insulated Golf R can't quite match. The Fiesta isn't trying to be an all-purpose rocket. It's trying to be the most fun you can have on a twisty road for a fraction of the cost. Both are brilliant, but they serve completely different purposes for the driver who wants performance on a budget versus the driver who wants an all-season daily driver. The Volkswagen Golf R MK7 upped the stakes significantly with more power and a refined drivetrain that made it a genuine rival to premium sports cars. It's an incredibly fast, stable, and easy car to drive quickly. In contrast, the Ford Fiesta ST MK8 refined the winning formula of its predecessor, adding a 3-cylinder engine that sounded surprisingly aggressive and handled with even more precision. It's a car that feels alive in your hands, encouraging you to push harder in every corner. While the Golf R MK7 is a powerhouse that can conquer motorways and mountain passes with ease, the Fiesta ST MK8 is a master of B-road entertainment. One is a technological tour de force, and the other is a pure engaging driver's car that reminds us why we love hatchbacks in the first place. The latest Volkswagen Golf R MK8 is a digital powerhouse that uses torque vectoring technology to make it sharper and more agile than ever before. It's a highly sophisticated piece of kit designed to be fast everywhere, all the time. Facing it is the third generation Ford Focus ST. This car focused heavily on torque-heavy acceleration and a very capable front-end setup that made it a great all-rounder in its day. The Focus ST MK3 was known for its comfortable seats and punchy engine, while the Golf R MK8 is defined by its lightning-fast response times and high level of connectivity. It's a clash between a modern, electronics-heavy performance hatch and a slightly older, more conventional hot hatch approach that relied on mechanical grip and raw turbocharged shove to get the job done. Here we compare the stylish Volkswagen Scirocco R against the refined Ford Focus ST MK4. The Scirocco R was unique because it opted for a sleek coupe-like silhouette, offering a slightly more dramatic look compared to the traditional Golf hatchback. It was punchy, fast, and handled with real conviction. The Focus ST MK4 brought a much more mature chassis, featuring advanced damping and a balanced weight distribution that made it exceptionally comfortable on long trips while still being very capable on a twisty road. It's a comparison of style versus substance, or perhaps a unique form factor against a benchmark for hatchback chassis development. Both cars excel at providing an engaging drive without being too punishing, making them ideal candidates for the daily driver who demands more performance than a standard base model can provide. The Volkswagen Polo GTI is the younger sibling to the Golf GTI, offering a punchy engine in a smaller, more nimble package. It's often seen as the practical, sensible choice for those who don't need the extra size of a Golf. Meanwhile, the Ford Puma ST is a crossover-based hot hatch that surprised everyone with its excellent handling and truly fun character. It has a slightly higher seating position, yet it manages to be one of the most engaging cars in its class, thanks to a very well-sorted suspension and steering setup. This pairing is fascinating because it contrasts a traditional low-slung hot hatch with a modern crossover-infused design that refuses to sacrifice the fun factor. It really shows how versatile the hot hatch segment has become in recent years. Here we look at two track-oriented machines, the Volkswagen Golf Club Sport and the classic Ford Escort RS200. The Golf Club Sport is a modern masterpiece of engineering featuring a track-tuned suspension and improved aerodynamics that make it incredibly fast on a circuit. It's essentially a street-legal race car. The Escort RS200, conversely, is an old-school hero from a time when simple, naturally aspirated power and a rear-wheel drive platform were the ingredients for success. The RS200 is all about the analog connection between the driver and the road. While they are separated by decades of technology, both cars share a singular focus on performance and track capability, representing the absolute peak of what their respective eras could offer to the dedicated performance enthusiast. For our final matchup, we have the limited edition Volkswagen Golf Edition 3.5 and the legendary Ford Focus RS500. Both of these cars were produced in very limited numbers, serving as a swan song for their respective platforms. The Edition 3.5 was a celebration of the GTUA's history, featuring a more powerful engine and unique styling cues that made it an instant collector's item. The Focus RS500, however, is a different breed entirely. With a massive power hike and a unique matte wrap, it became one of the most sought-after performance hatchbacks ever built. It's a brutal high-performance machine that took the already capable RS and turned everything up to 11. These two represent the very top of the performance food chain for these brands.